We're absolutely delighted to be presenting this painting for sale at Bonhams on the 10th of June here at New Bond Street because it is such an incredibly rare painting. Nevinson was an official war artist, but he didn't become one until this period in the war when it was entering its fourth year. And whilst there is a focus on the face of the Tommy, I think the main focus of the picture is in this rather oversized fist which is grasping the reins of the horse, which is, you know, I read it as a sort of quiet determination of the Allied armies as the war entered its fourth year.
Motor vehicles were in their very infancy at the time, and so all the supplies and that, and much of the artillery was moved about by horses and mules.
Yes.
And the mule is a very strong animal.
Absolutely.
So it was used very frequently.
Whilst there are many interesting aspects about the painting, I would say perhaps the most fascinating is just its rarity status. You know, you have to go to British museums or indeed the War Gallery, the War Museum in Ottawa in Canada to see pictures like this. Seldom in the modern British art discipline does a true rarity appear on the open auction market. Painted in the autumn of 1917 or the early winter period of 1918, Mule Team was created at a time when Nevinson's state of mind was in a very fragile place. Nevinson had served on the Western Front as a soldier, of course, at the beginning of the war in 1914. But in the summer of 1917, he was actually in Wandsworth Hospital for mental health reasons. He was drafted back into the army, but this time as an official war artist. It's the first time in a generation that a painting by Nevinson depicting a soldier has appeared on the open market. What we do see here in this painting is a futurist and vorticist vocabulary. You can see that in the jagged edges of the soldier's tunic and the half-cocked ears of the mules behind the soldier, and indeed in the cloud formation. I think one of the most interesting aspects of this picture, apart from its rarity status, is the fact that it's sort of a defiantly optimistic image, which is in contrast to those paintings from the same period. Paths of Glory, for instance, in the Imperial War Museum, which depicts two soldiers lying face down in the mud, moribund. That painting actually was censored upon returning to London, and Nevinson defied this censorship by exhibiting it with a paper sash across the front of it with the word censored. What we have here, I feel, is a much more optimistic depiction, telling us how the British Army was digging in for the final stages of the war and its quiet determination. They weren't going to lose this conflict.